Good morning, guys, for one of my favorite places in Mexico, the city of Guadalajara, here in Jalisco. Now, behind me is one, if not the only, negative thing you could say about Mexico. One of my favorite countries in the world, as you well know at this point. All of the people that disappeared, corrupt governments and corrupt police that pretend not to know anything about the disappearances of all of these men and women. And this monument here was built originally to commemorate the death of 6 army cadets killed by the American army in the US-Mexico War in the 1840s. But nowadays, as you can see, it has turned into a reminder of the dark sides of Mexico and the disappearance of many people, the disappearance, the kidnapping and the killing by many people by the very powerful, still very powerful cartels. My condolences to all of the families of these people. But let's get back to the positive side. I'm back in one of my favorite cities and places in Mexico. If I went back to Mexico City, which you well know, for me, is the best mega city in the world, I also had to come back here, to Guadalajara, which is for me the best city, the best smallest city, let's call it like this, in Mexico. And one of the most underrated as well. Join me, as today I'll show you why I love this city so much and why you should come here. Vamos, cabrones! Now, some facts here about the city of Guadalajara. Guadalajara, with a population of just under 1.4 million people, is the 7th largest city in Mexico in terms of population. But in terms of population density, with a population of over 10,000 people per square kilometer, it is the 2nd in Mexico, just behind Mexico City, obviously. And in the Americas, it is in the top 20 as well. And the people of Guadalajara, just like the people of any Latin American city, of any major Latin American city or region, have their own nicknames, of course. The people of Mexico City are the Chilangos. The people of Medellin are the Paisas. The people of Bogota, the Rolos. The people of Buenos Aires, the Porteños. The people of Lima, the Limeños, and the people of Guadalajara are the Tapatias or Tapatios. And I'm currently in a very famous avenue here of the city called Chapultepec Avenue. It's an area where people go out at night. It's more of a, I wouldn't say rich area, but more upper scale area. It's the nightlife area. And my hostel is located here. Very nice hostel. And now I'm about to head to the center and show you the beautiful center of underrated Guadalajara. In that place, by the way, the Cerveceria Chapultepec, which you can see all over the street. It's a brand which is spread out over this avenue, Cerveceria Chapultepec. There you get everything for 22 pesos. So everything for $1. You got food, beers, everything for $1. You got like mini burgers, mini tacos, mini tostadas, and beer, shots, whatever, for $1. Perfect place to warm up before you go out. A very typical thing here in Mexico are these old school Volkswagen, which you can see here right next to me. And what's pretty funny is that the Mexicans kind of love to put like the German sticker right next to it for their style. It's pretty funny. When I came here the first time I was like, there's loads of Germans here, what's going on? But actually they just like to put the German sticker or whatever, like a French sticker, Italian sticker onto their car. I don't know why, I'll never get it. I'm now about to take a bus that's gonna take us to the center of the city. It's actually not a long walk, it's like half an hour walking. I could also do the walk, but I wanted to show you guys the buses here of Guadalajara. The major difference between the city of Guadalajara and Mexico City is not only that Mexico City is a mega city, but also that Mexico City is a bit more developed when it comes to public transport. Here in Guadalajara, it's a bit rougher. It's still a bit more old school, less developed, and a lot rougher than down in Mexico City. Mexico City is a lot more developed, and here's the bus, guys. We're about to jump in now. If he goes to the center. Hola, señor, ¿vas al centro?
16 de septiembre y Libertad.
Check it out, guys. Tapatia bus. What I can already tell you guys about Guadalajara is that, just like everywhere else in Mexico, the people are legends. Mexicans are just simply the best. Absolute legends. This legend right here, amigo, gracias. This legend right there. I didn't have any change to pay my 10 peso ticket for the bus. I didn't have coins on me. So I asked him to change a 20 peso bill. But he instead said no, he didn't want the 20 peso, he just paid it. He just threw a 10 peso coin in and bought my tickets for the bus. And he doesn't accept me giving him the 20 pesos. It's just incredible. I mean, 10 pesos, that's like 50 cents in euros or something, so wowzers. The people here are legends, absolute legends. Mexico is really blessed with the best people in the world, and I really mean it. Wherever you go in Mexico, it's always the same. If you would populate the entirety of Western Europe with Mexican people, like replace half of the white people in this world with Mexican people, this world would be a much better world. Guadalajara as a city, guys, is a lot calmer and more laid back than Mexico City, obviously. And probably also than Monterrey. I've never actually been to Monterrey. Probably will be there in the future as well. But yeah, it's a lot more laid back. But on the other hand, it's also the most densely populated city in Mexico after Mexico City. So it's a bustling city actually, but you wouldn't think it when you're walking through the city itself. It's not as hectic and as crowded as Mexico City, and the nightlife here is as good as back in Mexico City, if not better, because when it comes to the nightlife, it's a lot more concentrated here, because the city is more densely populated. So in Mexico City you've basically got like 4 or 5 hotspots for the nightlife, but here you've got like 1 or 2 hotspots, one major one.
Aquí puedes tomar un camino, ¿no?
We've made it to the center of Guadalajara. And I'm so buzzing to be back here, guys. Just like I was buzzing to be back in Mexico City, I'm also so buzzing to be back here. I've got to tell you that I didn't originally plan to come back. I obviously came back. If you've watched my videos, my last videos, I was in Chiapas. And my initial plan was to head back up north from Chiapas and stop somewhere between Mexico City and Chiapas to continue filming and yeah, head to another place which I didn't know before. But when I was in Chiapas, and I obviously did the state of Chiapas in under a week, in like 6 days or something, I just decided that, you know, all of the exploring is pretty exhausting. And I just decided that I should head back to a place I already know to show you guys. And I booked a cheap flight, a $30 flight from a town called Villahermosa in Tabasco, like 2 hours by bus away from Palenque, where we were the last time you saw me. We were in Palenque, and yeah, from there I flew off straight here to Guadalajara. And check it out, guys. Beautiful Guadalajara, la ciudad de los Tapatias. And in my eyes, one of the most underrated places to visit in Mexico. Absolutely, hands down. One of the most underrated, if not the most underrated place to visit in Mexico. Ask anyone that has ever been to Guadalajara, he's going to tell you the same thing. The city of Guadalajara is famous for many things, many positive things. Beautiful colonial architecture, a beautiful cathedral, the biggest indoor market of Latin America, the prettiest women apparently of Mexico. Wow, surely the prettiest women of Mexico. Nearly every year, Miss Mexico comes from Guadalajara. Well, often. Not nearly every year, but often. And also, obviously, the city is known for one negative thing. The Guadalajara, or rather the Jalisco cartel. Guadalajara is the capital of the state of Jalisco. And the Jalisco cartel is up there, or maybe even is, currently the most powerful in Mexico, alongside the infamous Sinaloa cartel, obviously. But as a foreigner, if you don't mess with the cartel, you should be fine. But of course, for the people here, it's a different thing, as we've seen with all of the posters of the missing people at the monument at the start of the video. But yes, every place in the world has its ups and downs. There ain't no perfect place in the world. So let's focus on the positives today. Another thing for which this city is super famous for is the world famous drink of tequila. Tequila, guys, comes from a small town not far away from Guadalajara, well, like half an hour drive away from Guadalajara, which is called Tequila, the birthplace of tequila, which also happens to be the main tourist attraction here in Guadalajara. Now, I never went there, and I don't really plan to do so, because at the end of the day it's just a small town which is called Tequila, and which is the birthplace of tequila. And you can try tequila there, of course, but you can try tequila everywhere. And the tequila from the Jalisco region is obviously the best one, because it was born here. And then of course the city is also famous for the famous Lucha Libre boxing, which was born in this city, and which is a cultural heritage of this city, you could say. And it's a pretty great day today. Actually, last time I was here, it was in November. At time of recording, it's also November, and it was always sunny. A bit chilly at night, a bit colder at night, but never cloudy. Today's like the cloudiest day ever that I've been here in Guadalajara. I'm still happy to be back though. It's actually quite refreshing after the sweating heat of Palenque. Señora. Aquí, por la niña. Buen día. I can't help everyone, unfortunately. But women with small kids, I always like to help. I often get told that I could help out as a European. I could help out many more people here, like give much more money to homeless people and stuff when I'm in Latin America or any other place in the world, but I can't help anyone. Like everyone, sorry, I can't help everyone because I haven't got that money. I need to save up for myself, you know, because I want to travel long term. I've already told you this back in Cali, if you've watched my video when I was in Cali. And now we've reached one of the most famous places and prettiest places of this city. I don't know why, but wherever you go, in whichever Latin American city you go, the squares are always full of pigeons. Don't ask me why. Right guys, behind me you can see one of the most picturesque sides of the city and one of the most famous, the Cathedral of Guadalajara. Check it out. Last year, when I was here, I took a picture at this exact spot with the fountain and the cathedral. I might put it in the video. At that time, I would have never thought that I'd be back a year later to make a YouTube video. Now, if you ask me, I've been to many Latin American cities and also to many cities in Spain, obviously, as a European. And this, in my eyes, is the most impressive cathedral that I've seen. Now, I'm not a big fan of the church, but you've got to respect the infrastructure. And yeah, it's an impressive building. When I came here the first time, I was flabbergasted because I didn't know nothing about the city. I came here spontaneously. I was back in Puerto Escondido at the time, and I was pondering where to go next. My initial plans always change, by the way, when you are backpacking and traveling. And my initial plan was to go from Puerto Escondido, like most backpackers do, further south down to Chiapas, where I was now. But because it was super cold in Chiapas at the time, I decided otherwise. And so some Mexicans, which I met in my hostel in Puerto Escondido, recommended me to go to Guadalajara. Prettiest women, very underrated city, big city, warmer than Chiapas. And I was like, come on, let's do it. I had no information at all about the city. I didn't know nothing about it. And I guess most people in the West don't. Because Mexico, obviously, is a very, very popular destination to visit for tourists all over the world. Probably in Latin America, the most popular destination to visit. But Guadalajara, probably one of the most underrated places, because I guess most people would go to Quintana Roo, to Yucatan, to Oaxaca as well, maybe even more to Chiapas than they would go, and also Baja California. I've never been to that part of Mexico either, but that's also very popular. But not too many people put Guadalajara on their map. But as you can see, this city has a lot to offer. Guys, I've been to the gym this morning as soon as I got up, and now I've been walking and I'm feeling a bit hungry. I'm starving. So, you know the drill. Let's go for some tacos. Some delicious Tapatian tacos. And this looks like a good place. 15 pesos per taco. That's alright. I mean, at the market in San Cristobal, probably won't get cheaper than that. It was 5 pesos per taco. Here it's 15, but that's still cheap. One thing, guys, which you've got to know about Guadalajara is that here, in stark contrast to the rest of Mexico, especially Mexico City, it is that here they eat basically no chicken. Like, you'll find chicken, but in tacos, tortas and whatever, they basically don't eat chicken here. And it was pretty funny because last year I had a relationship with a girl here from Guadalajara, and we went out once and I said, I'd actually love to have chicken tacos now, and they don't have them here. And she was laughing at me like if I was an idiot or something. She was like, you're so dumb, chicken tacos don't exist. Because that girl, she'd never been outside of Guadalajara or Jalisco in her life. She'd never been to Mexico City, and she didn't know that chicken tacos actually existed. So that was pretty funny because that shows how diverse and authentic Mexico is. Like, every major city, you've got the same meals, but the meals distinguish themselves, the culture and the people distinguish themselves. Here in Guadalajara, they basically don't eat chicken, whilst in Mexico City they love chicken. And on the coast, you'll find loads of fish tacos, fish tortas, which you won't find in Mexico City or Guadalajara in the cities. But anyway, as I don't eat pork or try to avoid eating pork for years, I'm not a Muslim, but I just don't eat pork. I don't like it. When I eat pork, I kind of feel like a pork, you know. So I always go for beef here. Gracias, amigo. And here it is, guys. I didn't go for tacos because I've seen that they had lonchas here, which is typical here for Guadalajara. A typical Guadalajara meal. It's actually like torta, like a sandwich, but Guadalajaran version. And here, they don't call it torta, like in the rest of Mexico, they call it lonchas. And it's flipping delicious. And it's with beef. Here in Guadalajara, only beef. Beefing up. So guys, provecho y viva Tapatias, viva Guadalajara. Right guys, I finished my meal, it was delicious, check it out. Absolutely destroyed it, absolutely smashed it, but now it's a premiere for me here in Guadalajara. It started raining. I've never witnessed rain here. Check it out. It started to pour down a bit. I don't think it's going to be for too long though, but yeah, I've decided to stay a bit longer, protect the camera, don't get wet, and just got myself a delicious coconut juice here. And yeah, gonna drink that now before we continue exploring. I just hope it's gonna stop soon. Right guys, 2 hours later, it's finally stopped pouring down, and yeah, it looks like it's gonna start raining again soon. So, with that beautiful church, another beautiful church here in the center of Guadalajara, in the background, let's continue exploring. Because I think it's gonna start raining again in a few hours. And it's the rainiest day, the first rainy day ever that I've witnessed here in Guadalajara. It doesn't rain a lot here, but when it rains, like in the majority of Mexican cities, it pours, it literally pours. In the words of 50 Cent, when it rains it pours here in Mexico, wherever it is. And also the city of Guadalajara, believe it or not, is a very renowned university city. It's got the most universities in all of Mexico. And here's the Guadalajara police. Don't mess with them. Don't mess with police in Mexico, guys. It's not funny. Guadalajara. The city, of course, is not only famous for its beautiful architecture, but also, mainly, well, before coming to Guadalajara, that was the only thing that I personally knew about Guadalajara, is football clubs, two famous football clubs, especially Chivas de Guadalajara, which is the most popular one in Mexico and most successful one in Mexico after Club America from Mexico City, and also Atlas de Guadalajara. And the derby Tapatia, as it is called. I wanted to say derby de Tepito, but no, derby Tapatia, as it is called, is renowned to be the most dangerous in Mexican football. It's a shame that it's not going on when I'm here. And check it out, guys. This right ahead of us here is the beautiful Teatro. I've forgotten the name. The Jugado or something. Anyway, it's the theater of Guadalajara and it's flipping beautiful. Check it out. And look at that cool police car, guys. Check it out. Wow. Usually, guys, this plaza, this place here, ain't wet, rainy and cloudy. It's actually always sunny here, apart from today. But come on, then you're gonna see the rainy version of Guadalajara for once. Because probably when you come here, it's not gonna rain. I'm just unlucky. And we're now at the most famous square and plaza of Guadalajara. Check it out. The beautiful Plaza Tapatia, named after the people of Guadalajara, the wonderful Tapatias. Behind me, guys, is the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Oricio Cabanas, a complex which was built in the 17th century to house orphans, an orphanage house basically. Later on it became a general house for the needy, not only for orphans but for the needy people. After that it turned into a museum, a house of culture, which houses a lot of work from artists and painters mainly. And it's a place you should visit, absolutely, when in Guadalajara. I visited it last year, and to get in and see the whole complex, you've got to pay the entrance ticket. And I'm not going to do that because, first of all, I've already been inside, and second, I cannot film inside either. So it doesn't make any sense to me to pay the entrance ticket. But it's not a lot, it's like 5 or 6 euros or something, and it's absolutely worth it. And you should check this place out when you come to Guadalajara. And I hope that today I've convinced you to do so. This is also pretty cool. Right next to this UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Cabanas Museum, the Oricio Cabanas, as it is officially called, we've got this artificial football pitch right here. With music blasting out. It's nice. Pretty cool, actually. The Tapatias, the people from Guadalajara, are up there with the coolest people I've met in Latin America, by the way. Such a cool place. Alright guys, for you, these lovely ladies here that are controlling the ticket booth, ¿Yo puedo? Okay, gracias. Muy amable, gracias. They are letting me in to show you guys the entry of this beautiful Hospicio de Cabanas, which you should absolutely visit when you come to Guadalajara. Check it out. It's wonderful. I can't go inside, I can't go further inside, but you should absolutely check this place out when you come to Guadalajara. Quite a stylish orphanage, innit? And inside it's even prettier and more breathtaking. Right guys, I'm back at the Plaza Tapatia, and I reckon, as you can see the sky, the clouds are about to come back and surely it's about to start raining again. I reckon it's a good time and a good moment to end the video. My first video here in Guadalajara, not my last. Stay tuned, there'll be more from one of my favorite cities in the entire world. And I hope that today I've convinced you to visit this city, to put it on your bucket list, because most tourists that come to Mexico are not even thinking about Guadalajara as a destination. I was the same. Before I came here spontaneously, I never even thought about coming here. And since, I just have to come back all the time. I love the place. And I hope today I've convinced you to come here. There's a lot to do here and a lot more to see. We've scratched the surface today. Viva! Viva Cruz Azul! No. También? Okay, bueno. You see, that young Club America fan said, alright. I said Viva Cruz Azul, he said alright. See, Viva! See, the people are legends, Mexicans, best people. So yeah guys, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please click subscribe and make sure to like the video. If you've already done so, if you're already subscribed, you are the best. I love you, and I'll continue bringing nice content to you, the best I can. I'll see you guys in the next one, probably tomorrow. Adios, cabrones, carnales, whatever. Nos vemos muy pronto. Hasta luego. Y viva los Tapatias y viva Guadalajara.